Hi YouTube, welcome to another vue3 video. In today's video, I am continuing on the video streaming tutorial, and today I am going to create the backend API for the video and use the HTML5 element to display the video on the front end. So without any further ado, let's get started. So here we can see the server.js file, and let's start adding a new API endpoint. So I will call that video. So let's add that get / video function request response. So first of all, we need some unique way to identify the video that we want to play here, and I'm going to use the file name of the video since it's more convenient to use the file name. And in a production setup I won't use that because we can have the ID of the entry from the database and then use that ID to get the file name, so that would be more unique. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to do that. So I will be using the file name as the identification for the video, and so for that I would need a value here. So I'll call it video, and I would get that as ID. So registered query.id. Then we can have another constant so that we can fetch the path of the video where we are saving the video in the video folder. So we need a path for that because we are trying to get the whole video from that path and then use that to stream. So for that we need a path variable. So path would be, since we are storing the whole video in the videos folder, so that would be the base path, and then we would pass the video file name which we get from the front end. So that would constitute the path, and then we would need a module from the Nodejs called file system. So we would use the file system modules stat sync command. So let me show you what it would do. So we would use the stat sync command, the stat sync command, and we would pass the path of the whole video there, and the idea is to get the size of the file so that we can use the 206 partial content response to give the front end the whole path of the video, whole size of the video, and then we would pass that as chunks so the front end can buffer the video. So that's the idea. So here I am using the stat sync path and use that to get the size. So let me show you what I need. So we const file size, we would define a name variable for that, file size equal to stat.size. So this will give the size of the file, and then we would also need a range variable. So I would show you what I would use this for. So I would get the range from the headers. So for the 206 partial content, the front end will give a range header which the backend can use to determine which part of the video that it want to serve. So that's the idea here. So so there is two conditions for the 206 partial content response. So first of all, the sometimes the front end will give us an initial response, and then after that response we can give the chunks, or sometimes it will just give us the range headers, and then we can just pass in from the get-go the range response. So I want to check if the request headers has a range header. So that's what I'm doing. If there is a range header, then I have to define the parts. So the idea is that the range header has two parts. The first part would be the start of the range, and then the end of the range. So we need to split that based on that. So here you can see the structure of the range header, and so by that structure we can use the range header, and we can replace the initial part of the range header, which would be starting with bytes, and then we can replace it with nothing. So we can completely remove that thing, and then we can split it using the hyphen. So it would be like as I showed you earlier, it would have this structure. So so we can split it using the hyphen in the middle. So yeah, that's what we are going to do. And then we can have the start and end part. So I would use parse int to convert that to an integer, and I make sure that it has the base 10. So I have the start value and then end value. So here one thing that we need to understand is that not every request would have an end value. So in that case we would set the end as the last frame. So here we check for end. If there is an end, then we would use that. So parts of 1, and let's make sure it's base 10, and then if not, then file size, and I would remove 1 from the file size because it starts from 0. So it's bytes, so it starts from 0. So we need to subtract 1 to get the actual endpoint. So that's there, and then we can define the chunk size. Chunk size would be end minus start plus 1. I'm adding 1 because I am already subtracting 1 from the end. So, and then we can define a file stream. So what we are doing is that we are using the file stream and piping that to the response. So there would be a stream of a video stream. So with the chunk size. So that's what I'm trying to do there. So file equal to, you would use fs dot create read stream, and you would pass the path, which we need the whole path of the video, which we are passing here, and then we would define the start and end. So this will create the read stream based on the start and end of the file, which we get from the range. So now that we have defined that, we can define the headers which we want to pass. So constant head equal to I would have like multiple headers here. So first one is content range. And this is the range header. This is the analogous to the range header, which we get in the request headers. So we are passing it as a response header. So here it would be like bytes, and then we can pass in the start hyphen end and the total file size. So total file size, this is the content range. And then we have accept ranges header, and we set that to bytes, and then we can set the content length, and the content length would be the length of the chunk. So you can set that to chunk size, and then we have to specify the content type. Content type would be video, and we are passing this as mp4 files, so we can specify that. So there can be multiple formats for video, but we are since we are only using mp4, we are just specifying that. And then we can pass this to the response, like headers 206, and we are passing the headers. So we are responding with the 206 partial content. And then here is where the magic happens. We would take the files, this is the stream, and then we would pipe the response to that, and this will make sure that the response, the file stream would be passed to the response. So this is if we have the range headers. Now we need to specify if there is no range headers. So we can write the else condition. Oh yeah, I use the the newer syntax here, so that's not necessary because I'm not using that anywhere. So here everything looks good. Now we can write the else condition. So else, as this is when there is no range header, so we can set the head equal to, and we can pass the content length here, headers, and I would say the whole file size would be there. And then the content type would be the same, video mp4. Then we can give the response, and here instead of 206 response we would give the 200 response. 200 response, and then we can pass the whole file to the read stream. So we can write read stream, create read stream, and pass the whole path, and then pipe the whole thing to the response. So this is all we need to stream video in Node.js. So we have the API endpoint here. Now we can go ahead and create the front end part for this. So we need to create a new component for the front end. So let's go ahead and create that. So in the components, we can add a new component called video player view, and let me open that component here, and I would create the template tag and then script setup. Before doing this, we need to add some variables to the store so that we can show and hide this component based on the status. So let's go ahead and do that. So in the store, main store, we are adding two new variables here. Const is playing, so this would be a boolean value, ref and be false, and also selected file that would be a single file, so I would say, and then I would simply pass that here, is playing selected file. So now let's go ahead and do the rest of the video player. So first of all, we need to have a base template, so I'll go ahead and copy paste that. So this is the base for the video player. Here I am using the HTML5 video element, so that we can pass a source to that, and then it will just play the video. So here we need to pass a video source, so let's go ahead and do that. So for that we need to have use the computed property of view. So let's import the computed property, computed from view. We also have to import the store, so let's do that. Use main store from @stores main store, and then we also need to have the URL here, so let's also import that. URL from @services/globals. Check, yeah, global, sorry, services global. Yes. Since okay, so we have done the imports. Now we can add a computed property which will calculate the source of the video. So let's go ahead. Video source equal to computed, and here return URL plus /video and that is the actual API video, and we are passing the ID as the query parameter, and here the file name of the video that would be stored in the selected file. So we need there is a typo there. Okay, return URL plus video ID store.selected file. So this will pass the video URL here in the video source, and it will play the video. So, and also we need to close the video player. So for that we need to have another function, close player. That would be an action. So just so we can set the is playing variable to false. So close player, so we can plug that close player function here at click close player. This will do the trick. So yeah, we have not defined the store here, so that's what's complaining. So we can just go ahead and declare the store. Store. Okay, that should do the trick. Now we need to start playing the video, or we have to show this video player whenever we need to play a video. So I'll go to video card, and then I will set the selected file to the current file and then start playing the video. So let's go ahead and do that. So in the video card we can define a function to play the video. So const play video, and what that would do is it will set the selected file on the store to the current file. So store dot selected file equal to, here we are passing the props dot video file here, so we can set the ID there. Okay, so if we look at the video file type, let's go ahead and check the video file type here. Yeah, we have the ID as number and file name as string. So we would set this as file name instead. And then we would set the store dot is playing to true. So now we have to load this video player component somewhere, and we can show and hide it based on the is playing variable. So let's go ahead and do that. So in the app.view we could the app.view we could add the video player component. So first of all, import the video player component, import video player from @components video player.view, and then we can use it here, video player, and we want to show it only if the video player is playing, so store dot is playing. So now I hope everything will work. Let's try it out. So it's running, so let's go ahead and play a video. It's not working, so there is some issues. Let's see. Yeah, it's because we have not triggered the play video. So let's go ahead on the video card, and we have defined the play video but not plugged anywhere. So we want to play the video when we click on the image. So here at the right click equal to play video, and that should do the trick. So here, oh, there is an error. So let's see what the error is. Store is not defined on video card. Okay, so in the video card I think we have not used the store here, so that's the reason. So let's import the store here, and then yeah, it's not yeah, it has something to do with the video. So here we can see that the video player is loading successfully, and we can play the video. We can actually play it from any point. So there is this close icon. Oh, that's not working, strangely. Let's fix that. Why the close icon is not working. So in the video player we have a close icon. It's in the video player. Okay, so icon close. Okay, because we have not imported the close icon. So let's see if there is the close icon. Now we can create a close icon there. Close view. So I usually use the hero icon, so I can go ahead and copy that. Get a close icon from here, copy the SVG, go to the icon close.view, make it a template, and then paste the SVG there. So then use the icon there, import icon close from @components icons icon close here. So here icon close. Okay, so this should do the trick. Here, let's see. Yeah, there is the close icon, and we can close the video. Next video is playing. Works beautifully. So this is how we create a video player in Node.js with a view front end. So that's all from me now. So I'll see you in another video with a new tutorial. Bye, peace.